Hello, Lagos. Good morning to you. And thank you for joining us on AUTOMEDICS, your daily automobile digest, where we talk about your vehicles. Yes, do you have an ailing car and it's defective? You want to bring it forward this morning so we can have a doctor get it fixed. My name is Aderonke and Irewole. I'm your host this morning. I'm your shotgun rider. So I'm here in the studio with our auto experts. Yes, I call her the auto doctor. She's here this morning to provide solutions to your car challenges. I'll have Tokunbo Adegoju in the building. Good morning, Tux.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, yeah, it's nice, having you join us this morning on the show. Okay, so let's begin the show in earnest. Let's talk some, addresses and locations of your office within Lagos.
We have a center at Ayobo. We have it at number 1 Amule bus stop, opposite Petrocam Gas, Ayobo. We also have a center at Ikeja. It's inside corner Forest Station, opposite Correctional Center, Kudirat Abela Way, Ikeja. We also have another center at Ilupeju, which is the head office. It's at plot 192 Agege Motor Road. It's off Ilupeju Bypass beside Crystal Estate, Ilupeju, Lagos. If you want to buy parts, engine oil, Polytron, we have engine oil 5W30 blended with Polytron. We also have 5W20 blended with Polytron. And the Polytron oil, brake parts, filters, all of this are branded AUTOMEDICS. You can call any of this number to get access to our products. We have 070-6060-7494, 070-6060-7494, or 080-8080-6686, 080-8080-6686. You can also visit our social media handles on Facebook and Instagram at AUTOMEDICS Limited. We have our website to be www.automedicsafrica.com. I'm also putting out in information concerning those that are willing to train as automobile technician. The Tributary Initiative for Learning are willing to sponsor those that are willing to become technicians. They are between the age, if you're within the ages of 16 and 26 and you want to train to become automobile technician, you can call any of this number or send a WhatsApp message to this number on 081-866-31341, 081-866-31341, or 081-84747490, 081-84747490.
All right. Is it a free training?
Yeah, it is a free training. It's going to be, the training will take place at AUTOMEDICS Limited, but the initiative will be the sponsors of the program.
Okay. And so, it's for those within the ages of
16 and 26.
And 26. Okay. Okay, there. Just ensure you avail yourself this opportunity. It's a rare opportunity, I must tell you, because I know what it costs, to get trained as AUTOMEDICS. Yeah, as an auto expert. AUTOMEDICS is a multinational company, so you know what it means. If you want to get trained there, it costs a lot. So for now, it's free. So please do ensure you avail yourself this opportunity. You can tell your friends, tell your loved ones, and be part of it. Okay, so we have our numbers this morning. Yes, if you want to be a part of this conversation, if you are a DIY, if you are a mechanic and you want to join the conversation this morning, want to enlighten us, you have an issue, or you just want to say something about automotives, feel free this morning to call us on 091-538-77-127, or you send a message to our WhatsApp number. I have a call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you. This is AUTOMEDICS.
Yeah, my name is Ebenezer. I'm a regular caller of a traffic radio from Oga.
Okay.
I will still contribute on the program about to pick up, but I want to quickly report something, and I want people to be aware of it.
Okay.
You see the people that under beach, all those police and others that under the beach before you get to the lawsuit.
Yeah.
under big Keja.
Exactly.
You know, when you're coming from Mobaka, yes, when you're coming from Mobaka, I want Lagos State government or anybody that is in charge. They should try and regulate that light. The light is so tiny that people may not be able to
see it.
I did something last week. I went and parked my car far distance, and I came back to that light. I observed it myself. You know, if you put one of them to come to when the light is so tiny and watch it everywhere, that one will not so yellow, will not so ready to stop or anything. The moment that one showed ready, will not be coming. And I was passing there now, that one still so green. The car in front of me moved, and I moved. So the next thing I will stop that I to see the race. And I called their attention. I said, that I'm a marshal, special marshal. Let me tell you, I don't beat, like, if you want to beat your job thoroughly, if not because you are fighting for your pocket, let one of you go back behind that light and see that tiny green light. When you stop, you stop it.
What you're saying is that it's not very visible. You don't see it from a distance.
It's not very visible. If you see the way they pass the car now, collect, I said, me and you, today I won't mind of going to Alausa with you, cry ourselves, but we drop and pick, give anything. Not here.
It's okay,
because
sir.
If you want to solve your problem financially, let it be genuine. Not that you come and put people to ransom illegally. It's not wrong.
Your point is noted, sir. Your point is noted, and I believe relevant authorities can hear you.
Thank you.
And they will answer accordingly.
Your program.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Apologies, sir, for your experience this morning. Thank you. Thank you for calling. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, it's AUTOMEDICS on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, and we talk about automotives on this show. Yes, for the last caller, well, I just try to be civil, that's all. And if you know the light is not very visible, then at least you know that, okay, I know this light in this particular area is not very visible, so I have to be extra conscious when I get there, so I don't fall on the wrong side of the law. That's just the way to go about it. But I believe relevant authorities will do something about it because they can hear you. All right, thank you very much for that call and for bringing it to our notice. Okay. Oh, I'm getting another call. Let's see.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Aderonke.
Okay.
I drive is Santa Fe.
Okay.
I ended Santa Fe 2007 model.
Okay.
And there is this issue that I've been, experiencing. Though I went to the technician in the morning when I start the car. If I move, you see it shooting, and if it's shooting, the accelerator sometimes will not, press. It will just go down. And when I off it, then remove the key and then start it back again. Then it's like stabilized. And then move. When it's moving, it's struggling to move. And express, and I'm trying to move, once I match the brake, and for it to continue moving again, you see that hard sluggish movement that will be so hard sluggish that immediately it just move again. And immediately I press the brake, I will experience such again. So I've checked many of those things, in fact, I've changed it. The most is that sometimes when it's working, I took it to the technician to scan. Sometimes maybe before getting there, the work of the car, especially when it's not in motion, if I on it now and it's working, it is stabilized, so they won't be able to see anything. But it's why during the activity you notice that.
Okay. All right, you can listen from the radio.
Thank you.
Okay, it says the vehicle has, when the vehicle starts, you hear it shooting, more like a backfire when the vehicle is started. Most times when you are having exhaust backfire, it's just that maybe you have raw fuel getting into the combustion chamber. Raw fuel getting into the exhaust manifold, and this could be as a result of dead spark plugs. If you have spark plugs that are not good, it will not, the fuel in the combustion chamber will not get burned by the spark plug, and so the fuel will get straight into the exhaust manifold. And because the exhaust manifold is heated up, you would have the exhaust manifold burning out the fuel, and that's when you hear that loud bang in the exhaust manifold. So the first thing I would advise you to do is have your technician do a replacement on the spark plugs. Now, I would advise that you shouldn't allow anybody tell you to buy Tokunbo spark plugs, because most times that's what it will boil down to. And so if it's still Tokunbo spark plugs you are buying in place of the spark plugs you're supposed to use, you will still continue to have this problem because you don't know the condition of the Tokunbo spark plugs. And so that's the way you won't be able to know, ascertain if the problem would be resolved. Then you said the vehicle is very sluggish to move, and at some point it starts to move well. I would advise that you have your technician do an inspection on the fuel pump and also the fuel tank. Now, inside the fuel tank, you could have impurities, maybe water getting through the fuel and going into the combustion chamber. So at the time you have this water get into the combustion chamber, you might have loss of power. But spark plugs will also cause the vehicle to have loss of powers. So it's best for you to have your technician do an inspection on the spark plugs. A replacement on the spark plugs could also help resolve the problem. Then the condition of the fuel pump and the fuel tank is also something you need to check. So that way you can be able to deal with the problem of the vehicle being sluggish too. Lastly, a scan results might not be able to reveal all of this problem because they are more mechanical than electrical. The spark plugs, you could be having random multiple cylinder misfire detected, as well as also the random multiple misfire detected for the fuel pump. But you won't really get a concrete information from scan reports. So a physical inspection is what will help you know what exactly is the problem in this situation.
Physical inspection.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, I will still rather advise vehicle owners, not to just throw parts, like you always say on the show, that you need to run a scan on your vehicle before you start changing parts, changing this, because I'm just concerned, because I know what it is now for you to buy even a tiny boat, you understand? So you advise us to always run a scan on our vehicles before we start making any replacement, which I think is actually the best way out. But now, what do you think about these technicians who will tell you that a scan might not really reveal it, but yes, this thing has gone bad by visual inspection, like what you said, that if you look at this thing, you can see it's already going bad. So do you advise that we should still go ahead to, have a replacement of that kind of component?
Well, looking at the components, you'll be able to tell if it's bad or not. Now, for spark plugs, when they are very fouled, you see it on physical inspection. Once it's brought out of the cylinder, you would see it, and they can even do a comparison, because that's what I do. I do a comparison of a new spark plugs with what I have on the vehicle, with the vehicle owner. Now, say, take a look at it. Can't you see that there is a very huge difference in these two? That tells you that a replacement needs to be done on this. So it's not really like we'll just join part in this case now. Like I said, the scan results could give multiple cylinder misfire being detected, meaning that the cylinder is misfiring, but the computer cannot pinpoint what is the cause of the misfire, which is probably be a spark plug. Though a dead coil could also cause a backfire, because if the ignition coil is bad and it does not ignite the spark plugs, it will cause a backfire. But in the case of a bad coil, all of the coils on the vehicle cannot go bad at once. But on the vehicle, you could have 3 bad spark plugs. These spark plugs they are very weak. So they would struggle to propel the vehicle. If it's a dead coil, the vehicle, if there are several dead coils, the vehicle might not be able to move. But in the case of a weak spark plugs, the vehicle will still struggle to move, but you'll be having loss of power. So that's why this case, I don't want to tie it to the ignition coil. That's why I'm saying that the spark plugs are something that really need to be inspected.
All right, thank you for that clarity. All right, it's AUTOMEDICS on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Yes, we are discussing your cars. If you have issues, if it's defective, or you want a technician to actually say something about the challenges you're experiencing with it. All right, the numbers to call, or the numbers that get you here, we have 091-538-77127. And for WhatsApp, we have 009-912-0777. We're about to get into a conversation before those calls came in. But right about now, let's head on to Rosa, see what we have traffic-wise. Okay, let's see what we are getting from our traffic managers. All right, let's look at a light screen now. All right, I see here Latif Jakonde is looking quite good. All right, but those are trying to connect to Wenko Road, yes, we have it good from there. Okay, so I can see our traffic managers also, trying to control traffic there. They're trying to, make 1 or 2 points. Yes, I see them, actually, trying to direct someone, trying to direct a car. All right. Just ensure you obey your traffic laws. Yes, please try to be on the right side of the law. Okay, let's move away from there to see what we have on Ijaye Road. Okay, Ijaye Road is also looking good. Impediment is negative. Okay, Ojota interchange, it was Ojota proper. Oh, okay, I see here. I see high capacity vehicles, flying these routes, all right, and yellow buses also picking and dropping passengers, all right, especially for those who are trying to make it through Kuriata Abiola Way. Okay, yes, from K2, yes, I see yellow buses actually slightly impeding the flow of traffic there. Please just be patient with them, yes, if you're driving on that stretch. Okay, and connecting Odialaro and it was Maryland. See, it's a good one, though we have high influx there. Okay, just keep it within speed limit, and all right, give a right of way to other road users as well. Okay, let's see Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Yes, precisely, it was Lagos. All right, to have it good. Okay, and around Tokunbo Way, it's a good one. Aside, there's traffic light there, so you just have to obey that light. Please do try. Okay, and also on the return journey for those going out towards Lagos, we have it good as well. Yeah, it's a breeze all the way. And away from that area too, let's also see here. I see Alapere is also looking quite good. Alapere connecting Pacific Church and it was toll gates. It's a breeze as well. Okay, no fuel queues anymore. So everything is looking cool and calm. All right, except if you have any breakdown. If your vehicle breaks down on you, oh no. No, I don't pray for such, but just ensure you keep it within speed limit, and always make sure your vehicles are roadworthy. Yes, that's why we come here every weekday, Monday through Friday on AUTOMEDICS, to enlighten you and to tell you how best to ensure that your vehicle is in good condition, so it doesn't break down on you, and you avoid that embarrassment. Okay, so let's get into our discussion this morning. Let's talk about oil consumption. I'm sure a lot of other listeners, regular callers, will know that I'm very particular about the engine of a vehicle, because I know when the engine gets knocked, then that vehicle cannot even crank. Am I right, Tokunbo? When you have an issue with your engine, that's you're in for it. That's all. It is something you can do. There are some other issues that can actually crop up, and you might still eventually manage the vehicle. Maybe you can even manage it to your mechanic workshop or something. But when the engine is not starting, that's the end of it. So, and before your engine can actually pack up, that means you must have experienced maybe a knock or something, which is actually from maybe oil shortage or something. So let's talk about oil consumption in vehicles. Aside leakages, what are other causes of oil consumption in vehicles?
All right. Aside leakages, other causes, well, I would say aside external leakages.
External leakages. Okay.
Yes, so external leakages as the ones we see around the engine due to failure from seals and the likes.
Okay.
We could have external leakages, internal leakages like having bad oil rings or the cylinder wall itself is worn.
Okay.
Now, most times, people would always say, okay, you have to ring the engine if you are having, oil shortage.
Okay.
But most times, it's not every time you can ring the engine.
Why?
When you're having oil shortage. Now, this is the case. If the cylinder walls are worn, it's different from you having bad piston rings. Now, what I mean is the piston goes up and down in a cylinder.
Okay.
In the engine. Now, the cylinder itself, if there is a lot of clearance in the cylinder, it means that the piston is already loose on that cylinder, so it would allow oil to pass through the cylinder and get into the combustion chamber, and so the oil will burn out, and so the oil will be short. Another thing is the rings around the piston. They are called piston rings and compression ring. If they are already weak, they are supposed to seal the surface of the cylinder wall, the sides of the cylinder wall that the piston is going through. Now, if the piston rings are weak, you would have oil pass through from the sump into the combustion chamber, and so it will burn out and the oil will get short.
Okay.
So if it's the case of one piston rings, it's okay. One can do a service.
Okay.
On those, you can do a replacement of the piston ring, which we call the overhauling of the engine, which some people call ringing. But if it is a case of the cylinder wall that is already having a serious case of wear, now that's a problem, because one may not be able to do
the job of
overhauling.
Okay.
They might need to actually, some technicians would recommend that you change the whole of the cylinder block, or you change the engine. So it's a case of, that's why I said that one might not be, overhauling might not really work on that.
Okay.
So a replacement of the cylinder block can be done, or replacement of the engine as a complete unit would be done.
Okay.
Then other things that could also cause oil shortage. There is this component we call a PCV valve.
Yeah.
Now, it's an emission control component. It's not supposed to be a part of the oil system or the lubrication system. But because it takes away pressure from the crankcase, and the crankcase is the area above the sump where you have the engine oil. So if the PCV valve is bad, that it's no longer doing its job of relieving pressure or releasing pressure in the crankcase, the pressure build up in the crankcase will force oil to go through the PCV valve, and the oil will get into the intake manifold.
And oil isn't supposed to get into the intake manifold?
No.
Okay.
If oil should get into the intake manifold, it would find its way into the cylinders, and it will get burned out. So the oil will get short eventually.
Okay.
Now, another case, you can have loss of oil for vehicles that are turbocharged, that use turbochargers.
Yeah.
Oil is a lubricant we use in the turbocharger. So engine oil has a passing from the sump to the turbocharger. So if you have the turbocharger having problems, or seals in the turbocharger is bad, you could also have oil leak out from the turbocharger's end.
Okay. Do you mean, apologies, I have to just hold it there. Do you mean that for vehicles that use turbochargers, do they consume more engine oil?
They don't consume more engine oil.
Okay.
But if there is a problem with the turbocharger seal, and you have a bad seal around the turbocharger, oil starts to leak out from there. And so the engine oil will get short also.
Interesting. Okay, so those are ways that you can actually experience oil consumption in your vehicles, aside external leakage, like you corrected me. Okay, now, so what are there other components that could be affected when there is oil consumption in our vehicles?
Well, components that will be affected when there is oil consumption in the vehicle now is that when you have the oil getting into the combustion chamber, the spark plugs of the vehicle will get a lot glossy with oil. Oil will fill the spark plug.
Okay, I get some calls or some messages that say their spark plugs is soaked in oil.
So you would have the tip of the spark plug becomes soaked in oil. And so the spark plug is not going to spark very well and give you that spark that you're supposed to use to burn the mixture. And so the engine tends to lose some power.
Wow.
Then in cylinders where you have oil, where you have the piston rings that have gone bad, the cylinder also loses compression. So the cylinder might not give the maximum compression that is needed for the engine to propel the engine. So that particular cylinder is going to be giving problems to all other cylinders. So the engine's efficiency, the total engine efficiency is reduced. So if you have more than one cylinder having problems with oil leakage, then you would have engine efficiency really reduced. So when the problem becomes a major problem, that the oil shortage is serious, then the engine starts to have loss of power and start to stall because there is no much efficiency for the engine.
Okay, so are we even expected to top up our engine oil at all? Now, if my service period is usually maybe 3 months, within those 3 months, am I expected to top up? Or could there be any need for me to top up at all? And if I top up, is it a telltale sign that something is wrong, even if it's just once?
Ideally, you shouldn't top up engine oil at all, even in the space of 3 months.
Okay.
I've used a vehicle that until the next service, I don't top up. So I don't even have a reason to have extra can of oil in my vehicle.
Wow.
So if you have to always put oil in your vehicle, or maybe in the next 3 months, you are going to have your service in the next 3 months, but you're already having to top up, then there is a leak somewhere, either externally or internally.
There's a leak somewhere. I need to hold it there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Yes, I'm the one that called the other time about my Honda Santa Fe.
Okay.
Yes, thanks so much. I quite, heard what they said, that I should probably get a new spark plug and put in. But I'm talking about the fuel pump again. Is it getting a new fuel pump as well?
No, it's not. It's not getting a new fuel pump. It's testing the fuel pump to see if it's giving out the right pressure.
Okay.
Then you can also have your technician inspect the tank, inside the tank. After the fuel pump is out, they can inspect the tank, because there are cases that you might have water mixed with the fuel in the tank, and it will also cause problems of stalling.
Okay, because I've changed the fuel pump like twice, because of what exactly you are talking the other time. So I think I've set up to about 4 fuel pumps.
No, they have not inspected the tank.
Even the filter too, I've changed the filter too.
Have them do an inspection on the tank. Inside the tank.
Inside the tank. Okay. I was going to do that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling. All right. Now, Tokunbo said he has changed the fuel pump thrice, right? Okay. Now, does it mean it means that those fuel pumps are not actually bad?
There's nothing wrong with the fuel pump.
So can I return the fuel pumps I bought? Can I? Okay. What can we do now with those fuel pumps? You just keep them life fallow.
Wait, no, you cannot keep it life fallow. It's just that it is technician that will do the job of always have maybe he has somebody that wants to use a fuel pump. You can just always refer it to him and say, okay, I have this client that has a fuel pump.
We are being practical here.
No, sincerely, that's what we do.
Exactly.
Most times, okay, if he's even somebody that trusts the technician, he can always leave the fuel pumps with the technician and say, okay, in case you have somebody that needs the fuel pump, instead of me storing it at home. Or he can ask 1 or 2 persons. But most times, what would most clients will do is they will leave the parts with the technician and say, so if there is a need for it, if there is somebody that needs it, you can always use it as a replacement part, and you refund the vehicle owner.
That's the most interesting part. Okay. All right. Thank you. Back to our discussion. Okay. It's AUTOMEDICS on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. And we are having a conversation about your vehicles. And we're talking about oil consumption. Yes. Reasons why you experience oil consumption in your vehicle and the other components it can affect. The telltale signs, that the vehicle is consuming oil. Okay. So you mentioned that, we're talking about signs or other components that could be affected. We have talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to the signs that your vehicle is actually consuming oil. I know that we have smokes, smoke, yellow, apologies, blue, black, and white smoke. Which of them is actually connected to oil consumption?
The blue smoke.
The blue smoke. Okay, so by the time your vehicle is bringing out blue smoke, you know that it's actually connected to your oil.
Yes.
That means you're having high consumption of oil. All right, so now let's talk about the filter. when you want to replace your oil, you need a filter. What role does the filter play here? And do I need to always replace the filter each time I want to do an oil change?
Yes, the filter filters every form of impurity from the oil. Now, you can't say that the oil. Yes, you are the one. You open the seal of the oil, so the oil is purified. But you know that over time, the engine has some form of wear, and so the impurities you have settled in the sump. In the engine sump. By the time the oil pumps the oil from the engine sump, the oil flows through the filter, and so the filter filters every form of impurity from the sump before it is taken around the engine. So the job of the filter is to help purify the oil from every form of impurities in the engine before it flows through the engine.
So, but I hear of some modern cars having oil filter bypass in their cars. What about that?
Well, some oil filter bypass are there because if the oil filter is really blocked, if the oil filter is blocked and is not replaced, it means that oil will not flow through.
Okay.
And it will be dangerous for the engine. Now, imagine you having unpurified oil flowing through your engine than having no oil flow through at all. So the oil filter bypass is there to help allow oil pass through when there is a blockage in the filter.
All right. Okay. All right, it's AUTOMEDICS 09153877127 and 00991207777. These are the numbers that get you across to us here in the building. So for you as a motorist or a vehicle owner, you're not expected to top up your engine or at any time. So anytime you experience maybe oil shortage or something, that means there's something wrong with that vehicle. It's either it's having an external leak or it's having an internal leak, and you also need to check some other components in that car. Just ensure you get your technician to have a critical look at the vehicle. All right, so that's how far we can go on our discussion this morning. So let's take some of the questions we have, on our WhatsApp. Okay, someone is saying, what's going on my truck? Please, traffic managers, what's going on? I cannot see anything from camera here, but it depends on the extent of where I can see from the screen here in the building. So traffic managers, please, someone says, what's going on my 12? All right, but I can see K2 here. K2 Irewole Aderonke is looking good. Yes, no cause for worries from a live screen here. But traffic managers, please, I need you to let me know what's going on at my 12. Is it busy? Is there a breakdown? Okay, is it just high influx? So K2 Irewole my 12 is looking quite good from what I see here, and also K2, yes, K2 proper, that's K2 bus stop. All right, it was Ojota, it's also good. I'm not citing any impediments, but traffic managers from your end, maybe on top of my 12 bridge, maybe for those coming in from Ikorodu, yes, there might be some kind of glitch there. So please, I need you to quickly update me so we can help our motorists who might be stuck there. Okay, right. This question here is about a Toyota Yaris 2007, and it has a Ford code P0012. P0012 is the code. So it wants to know what's going on, yes, with that car. So Tokunbo, kindly help us check through what the problem is. P0012.
And it's a Yaris.
Yes, Toyota Yaris.
Okay, so we can go on with other questions.
Just the code. Okay. Toyota Camry 2005. My ABS light is on, and I noticed that my ABS isn't working when I depress the brake abruptly.
Okay.
I scanned. Yes, I scanned with my mini OBD, but it couldn't pick up the ABS. I know I'm supposed to carry out a more detailed scan, but you can help. What can I check, please?
Okay, really, he has to run a scan.
Okay.
That's the truth. But the OBD scanner he used to scan is an engine scanner. So it's only going to pick fault codes from the engine. It's not going to bring any code from other systems on the vehicle, so it wouldn't get any fault code.
Okay.
But since the ABS light is on, it can try to get a scanner that can do an all system scan. So it will run a scan on all of the systems on the vehicle and as well as the ABS, and the computer is going to throw codes relating to the ABS. Though it could be that the ABS module is faulty, it could also be that the ABS pump is bad, but it has something to do with ABS. Now, the only way to find out if it's the ABS module is by running a scan by doing an all system scan. If it does an all system scan, if the ABS module is bad, it might not be able to scan the ABS module. So it will not be able to pick fault codes from the ABS module, but all other systems on the vehicles will be complaining about the ABS modules, like saying that there is no communication with that module. That tells him that is the ABS module that is the problem.
All right, so let's go back to the previous
the fault codes.
Yeah.
So
P0012.
P0012, it's talking about a camshaft position timing over retarded bank one. Now, if you have a fault code like this, it has to do with maybe the oil level or the condition of oil in the engine, or probably the VVT solenoid. So the first thing is, if you have not done a lubrication service in a while, go ahead and do lubrication service. If the oil level is low, it could also be the reason. Now, if the lubrication service has been done recently and you still have the computer complaining about this, you might have your technician remove the VVT solenoid and do a service on it, actuate it to see if it's actuating well. If it's not actuating well, a replacement of the VVT solenoid will resolve the problem.
So what is it about OBD scanners? OBD2? Okay, is it about that scanner? Now, if I am a DIY, you cannot just expect me to have your type of scanner. I'm sure you use a more standard type of scanner, as a mechanic, a professional. So for those who are DIYs, we'll probably use one of this, low quality scanner or something.
No, it's not that. It's not that. Now, there are different scanners in the market, surely, and you have the very big ones. You have the small ones, and you even have the pocket.
Is it about the size now?
It's not about the size. So that's what I'm trying to say, that it's not about the size. You could also have the ones that you can simply put in your pocket, you connect to your phone stand, and that's the type I have. So a bulky scanner.
Sure.
So what I'm saying is that now the OBD scanner, though the functions of the scanner would. So if you have a scanner and do a number of functions, it might be more pricey than that will do an OBD scanner. In the market, OBD scanners can scan only the engine. Some of them will go for maybe 12,000. Some will go for about 40,000 naira.
40,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but the ones that can do an all system scan range from maybe 120 to 150 or to maybe 200, as much as what you want to use scanner for.
For a scanner. I'd rather just bring the vehicle to you, which after all, you just charge me for the scanner or the scan.
So what I'm saying in essence is that the OBD scanner, yes, it will scan and it will give you on the engine. It's good for vehicles that they don't really have so many functions. There are some vehicles that all their systems they have is just about 6 control units, and that'll be all. But there are some vehicles that have control units or about maybe 16 or 20. Now, for this kind of vehicle, if you use an OBD scanner, you only scan for the engine. So every other way, you will see Christmas light on the cluster, but you will not be able to see any fault code. So that's why we don't advise. But still, the OBD scanner can come to rescue you when you have only the check engine light on. But if there are other lights on, there's nothing you can do.
Be difficult.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, let's take another question. Have we answered the previous question, the P0012?
Yes, we have.
Okay. All right. So this question reads, I want to, I drive a Toyota Corolla 2014, but now I drive a Hyundai Sonata 2016. It says I noticed when I changed the gear oil of the Corolla, the car was not moving well for a while. Till eventually I sold it. I'm scared of attempting to change the gear oil of my Hyundai Sonata. It's foreign use and I don't know if I can change just to start afresh. I don't want to have problems with the gear.
I understand this person's plight, and most times we used to recommend that you do initial change whenever oil change or any service whenever you just purchase a vehicle.
Okay.
The reason is that you can keep your own records.
Okay.
And at the same time, you would be able to monitor any changes in the vehicle over time. Now, because of the previous experience on the 2014 Corolla, it might find it difficult to do a change on this. But what I would advise this person to do is take the vehicle to a standard workshop. Let them do the service. They're going to use the specified fluid. That's one. Another thing is, this goes to our vehicle owners. Don't rush your technician. Don't tell the technician you want to use your vehicle in the evening and you come and drop the vehicle in the morning and say do transmission service. At the end of the day, it's going to be your pocket that would suffer it.
I know sometimes some clients can be very,
No, sincerely, because if a transmission is not completely cooled, yes, this is for some particular vehicles, for makes and model, but we have made it a general rule of thumb for all transmissions that if you know you want to do transmission service, let the vehicle be cool at least 24 hours.
So be in a rush.
So if it's cool, if the transmission is completely cooled, and it's not, what I mean completely cooled, it's not you park the vehicle at the front of the shop yesterday.
Okay.
Now it's already 24 hours. Now
you want to drive it to the mechanic shop.
You now want to do transmission service. It's already at the mechanic shop now.
Okay.
Now they say they want to drive it to the bay.
To the
You have started the engine.
So you are not supposed to start it at all.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think this is another thing most people used to the mistake most people make.
Yeah.
So some persons will say it's not still hot now. It's just for we just drove it for
drive it to
how
that
many
point.
For some seconds. It's not like it's no. You don't have to start it. So if you know that there's no space where you want to do the transmission service and you have to leave it outside your workshop. So when it was time, you have roll it down there. The distance from the entrance of the workshop to the bay you want to do the transmission service cannot be up to a meter. It's not even, I don't think it will be up to. So just have somebody put it in neutral. Then you roll it down there. You don't have to start the engine.
You shouldn't start it at all.
So that way the transmission would not be hot.
Okay.
So at least you can eliminate the risk of having the transmission misbehaving. Though there are times that some transmissions can be very temperamental. Even after you have gone through all of the rules, they still misbehave. But yes, technicians do it's just most times the misbehavior is just going to be as a result of a failure from one solenoid or the other that just needs to be actuated. And once you have the technician do the actuation, everything becomes fine. I've been in situations where you do transmission service even after going through the rules and transmission starts to give you issues. But it's not because the transmission had gone back, but because the solenoids just decide to freeze up. And once you're able to actuate the solenoids to make them actuate freely, everything becomes fine. So it is best for you to just go with your to a very reputable technician. Then the transmission fluid, recommended transmission fluid should be used
for your car.
Exactly. For a Sonata 2016, I think it should be using XP4. I think so, but it should just use the recommended transmission fluid.
Right. So do your bit. Yes. Let's take another question here. All right. It needs your professional advice. Okay. My engine was experiencing intermittent smoking when you want to accelerate in traffic, or if it's in a parked position.
Okay.
I've grinded the valve seals as advised, and the smoke hasn't stopped. So
if the engine is smoking and when you want to accelerate in traffic, most times when you are trying to accelerate in traffic and the engine is smoking, it means that you are trying to demand for power. So as much fuel that will be getting into the combustion chamber, so you also have almost the same quantity of oil getting pumped into the combustion chamber, and you have the engine burn out the oil, and so this could be as a result of wear in the piston rings or the wall of the cylinder. Now this has nothing to do with grinding the valves. The valve grinding of the valves is just because you want to create a proper seat for the valves, maybe because the valves are not closing well, and that's causing the vehicle to lose compression.
Okay.
So if the engine is losing compression, it's going to be losing power, and this could be as a result of the fact that there is a lot of carbon buildup on the valves, and valves are not sealing properly. Grinding of the valve would resolve this. But the engine smoking has nothing to do with the valves. I'm sure maybe what you heard was valve seals, and the valve seals were replaced. But now, if the valve seals have been replaced and the problem is still there, then you might need to do an overhaul on the engine, because this has to do with maybe piston rings or the walls of the cylinder. But inspection needs to be done first to confirm which one had caused the oil to leak.
All right, 09153877127. We're still here in the studio to help you tackle your car problems. So feel free, call us or send us a message on WhatsApp 00991207777. I still have Irewole Tokunbo Adegoju in the building. Okay, this question is from someone who drives a 2006 vehicle. It says the vehicle is manual. It's a manual car, so he wants you to help with. Okay, it's a Chevrolet Opera 26. He wants to know how to do a manual reset on his vehicle. Manual reset. I don't know. Tokunbo, how can you be of help here? Manual reset of his Chevrolet Opera. Okay. How possible is that?
I don't know.
Okay, let's take the next question. 699. The car could not perform well until an adapter was attached to one of the plugs. So while driving, I noticed that the blue smoke follows me. Why? Why?
Okay, if you have smoke telling you when driving,
yes,
the engine is there's a leak, internal leak in the engine, and so the oil is getting into the.
We talked about that this morning. Right?
Yes, it's getting into the combustion chamber, and that's why you are experiencing you while driving. Most times, it's going to be an engine overhaul that can resolve this. But if you look at that engine, you said the vehicle is 1991, right?
99.
It means that the engine is already experiencing a lot of wear, and age will cause the engine oil to get burned out on the vehicle. And so if what you can do is have your technician do a check, if it's something they can do, maybe an overhaul can be done. But my fear is that the cylinder walls might also be worn because of the age of the vehicle.
Okay.
And so doing an overhaul might not stop the problem. So a replacement of the engine might be done. But another thing is, replacement part is another problem. Because of the age of the vehicle, you might not get the replacement engine. And so your technician, you would have to work closely with your technician to see if you can get the parts, maybe a cylinder block, and as well as some of the components that will be needed to do or repair on the engine. That way you can have the engine running without smoking.
All right. Thank you for that. Someone is saying, good morning. We have a 3 million scanner in the market. Do you have one? How can I buy a scanner for 3 million? Come on, Tokunbo. Even you as a technician, will you be able to afford that? Will you not affording now? Will you even, as in this
one thing is
current economic, 3 million for a scanner?
No, wait.
Not even. Oh, okay.
See, one thing about scanners is that as a standard workshop, you should be able to buy something like that, because there are some things that you will need the scanner to do. Most of these vehicles, some of the vehicles that we have on the road today, we talk of the 2020, 2021 vehicles. A lot of calibration will be needed to be done on the vehicles when the adjustment of their parts. You can't just go ahead and replace the camera of a vehicle or the a body control module of a vehicle, and you expect the vehicle to just the components to just run like that without doing any form of calibration. And most of this calibration